The Nike Vomero 16 at 300 plus miles. Is this the end of the shoe? Let's talk about it. So what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Filip Latocha, and as you already guessed by the title of the video and this intro, 300 plus miles on the Vomero 16, including a long run analysis. We can finally talk about this shoe on a distance run and how it's faring, and at 300 plus miles, if the shoe is done or not. So before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed and watching the content, thanks so much. Love you guys a lot. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Strava for all sorts of other updates if you want to stay in the loop of my marathon training program that's about 12 weeks long leading up to the Chicago Marathon. Project 25959, baby! Here's the specs for the Vomero 16. I've got a checklist of some items I want to talk about with the shoe, but first things first, let's just check out the outsoles for the shoe and kind of just talk about it. So here we go. This is what my right foot looks like. Sorry, that's the left foot. And this is what the right foot looks like. And these are the heels respectively. Anything else we need to showcase? The uppers are okay, nothing to really talk about there. We're gonna start with the right foot this time. As you can tell, smoothed it out a lot. So we're just gonna really just get into what this specifically means for the shoe's life, for me at least. The shoe is no longer going to be used for speed work. That's just, you know, a no-brainer. Without this grip here, I can't get the grab that I'm going to be looking for on the ground in order to do slightly, I guess, more tempo-style efforts for any sort of run, whether it's distance, whether it's just a shorter run during my day-to-day. This is going to be strictly what I'm going to be using for, like, my group runs, potentially recovery runs for the most part. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. And like, if I do use it on a long run again, it's going to be for like a slow group run, as I probably already mentioned. So that's kind of the gist of the shoe's lifespan right now. And to pretty much transition into that, I did have a morning group run at 7 a.m. I don't wake up at 7 a.m. very often anymore, but that's all going to change, where I did in fact use the Vomero 16 for that said run. Now we did about like 10 and a half miles. I can post the Strava somewhere here. The map kind of messed up on my watch, so all I have is basically the data of like the general pieces of the workout. I was following group pace with this specific shoe, so the group was running like 8:30 to like 9 minutes per mile, which I'm gonna make a follow-up video as to why that might have been the best thing I did all week. And I obviously used the Vomero 16 for that specific run, and I'm just going to kind of talk about what I experienced with it. So, first piece of my checklist is responsiveness. At 9 minutes per mile pace, given what is going on with the outsole of the shoe right now, I think the response was great. I think the Zoom X with the EVA foam combination was both comfortable and for the most part really stable. I didn't feel nearly as unstable as I would if I was trying to like push more of that 7:30 to 7 minutes per mile easy pace, and I put that like loosely in quotes because I know a lot of people are going to get really upset if I say something like that. So at this stage in the game, being able to keep the shoe at about 8 minutes to 9 minutes per mile pace is going to be good in that sense. And the only caveat slash con with that is that, again, with this shoe being as flat as it is, it's a little bit louder than it used to be, which is funny enough because I think that was one of the major complaints of the shoe, was the noise it would make when this like midsole area would kind of slap the ground and you could hear somebody from like a mile away. Similar to, I think the Tempo Next Percent, this was also a huge issue, but this one has like a very unique kind of like tap pop to it. And yeah, that's something I noticed with the shoe as I was going along with, you know, it was a no headphone kind of run for me, and I just wanted to have a good time with it. Funny enough, I see that there's a little bit of wear on the inside of the outsole there as well. That might just be potentially a side effect of walking with this shoe. I don't think I strike with that area. It doesn't look like there's any other evidence that would suggest so. The Air Zoom pod in the shoe is still alive. I know some people were talking about how theirs are kind of falling flat at this point in time, and if not a little bit sooner than the lifespan of my shoe. I completely understand that. At this point in time, I don't feel the flatness of the Air Zoom pocket, and if it is popped in any sort of way, I don't feel it because the Zoom X foam is enough to carry the shoe in the way I would like it to carry, because Zoom X is supposed to be a lot bouncier, a lot faster, and it's just going to give you a better energy return than something like a React with an Air Zoom pocket. And I'm hinting at the Pegasus 37, 38, 39, etc. here. So good to note with that in particular. The lifespan, I think we already kind of talked about the lifespan. You know, it's pretty bad all over the shoe. You can see that I've had some missteps where I did in fact start shredding the foam on the insole from either missteps or the shoes kind of just like clipping one another. It's a side effect of basically having, I think it's weak hips for the most part, and your hamstrings are overcompensating, and your knees start kind of caving in a little bit in a weird way. And this is what's happening, is that the shoes are just going to be clipping each other, or you're taking a turn, or you're hitting debris. There's a lot of reasons for such a thing to be happening. On the outside of the shoe, the textile seems to be okay. I did have a scare with it the other day when I was looking at it, because I thought this had completely ripped off the shoe, and you can like see why it's kind of concerning, because it seems like it just cut straight across. But that was not the case. This is just very loose textile material. It's perfectly fine. No issues there. The upper is holding up. My only con with it is that it does hold and absorb a lot of water. So if you do want to take it on a 2-a-day and you just had a sweaty run during the hot summer day, and then you go into a sauna afterwards, chances are the shoe's not going to be dry in time unless you like proactively dry it in that case. The fade out. I think the fade out in this reference is like after mile 5, mile 6, how does the shoe feel on my return trip to base camp? So again, during this 10-mile run that we did, my legs were feeling like jello, because this is going to be a slight tangent to the shoe here, is that the point, I guess, for me running a little bit slower with the group now is to spend more time running rather than have that quality of run. So being on my legs for like an hour and a half to run 10.5 miles is like different than running that 10 miles in like just an hour. So that extra 30 minutes is going to give you some marathon adaptation to basically just run a little bit longer despite whatever the pace may be. So the question here is, with the Vomero, does the shoe start feeling heavier? Does it respond well with you? Does it feel flat? Does the shoe drag? Those are probably the questions I'm going to try to answer here. And I think the final answer I would give for that is that the shoe actually had a lot of endurance to it by itself. So what I'm specifically referring to here is on this group run, about mile 6, mile 7, my legs started feeling like jelly just because I had like an insane leg workout the night before, slept like 5 hours, and then just did this group run. And the shoe really did help carry me when like my legs were starting to feel, kind of stiff. And I say jello because it's like just wobbly, and like you just feel, it's that like loose feeling in your legs where you can't quite get the step you're looking for, and you feel like if you take a mistake step, you're gonna like bend your ankle or something like that. The Vomero was able to keep me stable at the pace we were running at for basically the entire duration of the run, and I'm like grateful that the shoe is working as advertised in that sense. Now, the only piece I can't answer is if I did that 10-mile run in like that hour and a half period, but I was running at my personal pace, which means I would have run it to like 14 to 15 miles at like a slightly tempo-ish pace, how the Vomero would hold up on something like that. Can't quite answer that. But if you're taking this on a slow, long run, as of right now, in the shoe's beaten up condition that it is right now, it's going to hold up really well, and I'm grateful that it will hold up for that particular workout. Just, again, I can't confirm if you're running a little bit faster with it, if this is the shoe you want to ride with. I think at that point you should probably step it up to like an everyday racer kind of mode, unless, of course, you want to prioritize comfort above everything else. Then maybe the Vomero 16 is the way to go. So I think I'm going to end the video here. I don't have any other items to checklist here. So if you guys have like any questions about the long run feelings or after effects of the Vomero 16, or how the shoe is faring at 300 miles for yourselves, just let me know in the comments below. Love to hear what you guys think about it at this point in time. And I think we're going to end the video here. So my overall consensus at 300 plus miles is that the shoe is probably dead for speed workouts because of how the outsole looks. I probably won't take it on too many hill runs from now on because of the loose grip that's basically in both shoes at this point. Even on this side, the lugs are pretty smoked. So I think it's going to be just like that easy recovery, long run type of shoe that maybe the React Infinity Run Flyknit won't be able to necessarily fill the niche of. So this is going to be a shoe that I'm going to be using a little bit more sparingly from this point forward. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.